Hello everybody! In this video we're going to talk about coding a function called hasRepeat that takes as input a vector v and its output returns true if there's a value in v that appears twice, and of course will return false otherwise. So before we actually write the code for it, let's think about how we would actually go about kind of converting this into something that MATLAB understands this kind of problem. So let's just say I have a vector a, b, c, d for instance. And think about, well, how could we go about comparing all of the elements of v? So first I could compare a to b. So I'd have like a versus b. Then I could compare a versus c. Then a versus d. And then we can check b. But notice we already compared b and a. So we just need to compare b to c and b to d. So then we'd have b versus c, b versus d, and then we check c, and then we have c versus d. So the way we're going to code this is by using a nested for loop. So again, think about it as first we have the vector v, and we're going to check a against everything that comes after it. Then we're going to check b against everything that comes after it, and then check c against everything that comes after it. So the way we're going to do it, well, let's start by initializing our value b to be false, just because we're going to assume that our function doesn't have any repeats until we find one. Then we're going to say for I equal to 1, go to the length of v. Then what we're going to do is we're going to say for j equal to I plus 1 to the length of v. So again, what this is doing is we're going to say, start with, let's say a, if I is equal to 1, then go through everything after. If I is equal to 2, then j is equal to 3, so that's going to give us c, and then go to d. So we have our nested for loops. Then if, now a very easy mistake would be to say if I is equal to j, but remember here we're indexing the positions, so we're saying 1, 2, 3, these are all numbers. So we want v of I, if this is equal to v of j, then we want b to be equal to 1. And once we found it, then we can just return. Then we can end. And this looks good, so I'm going to save it. Now, one thing that you might ask yourself is how many pairs are we checking? So keep in mind that A and B, so picking A and then B is the same as picking B and then A, so it doesn't matter which one comes first. So there's n choose 2 pairs, and that's approximately n squared over 2, because remember factorial is, it's going to be, or n choose 2 is n factorial over 2 factorial times n minus 2 factorial. So it's approximately n squared over 2. So let's check our function. I'm going to go to the command window, and let's say I do something like hasRepeat of, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for instance. Now this should be 0 because nothing kind of appears twice. I could do, hasRepeat. Let me actually make the command window a little bit larger for us. I could do hasRepeat of, let's say, 1, 3, 4, 5, 3, and that returns 1 because we have this 3 and this 3. I could do hasRepeat of something like, let's keep it the same, so 1, let me actually pull up the old command, but I could add on a ton of elements at the end, so I could do 1 to 100, and we see this also returns 1. So this was a quick video. I just wanted to show you creating this hasRepeat code using a nested for loop. Now what we're going to do in the next video is we're going to time kind of how long it takes for MATLAB to search kind of vectors of various sizes. So let us know if you have any questions, and I will see you there.